Et je passe maintenant la parole au représentant de la Fédération de Russie.
Благодарю вас, госпожа
You
председатель.
are the only participant.
Madam President, let me first of all welcome President Adjers and Prosecutor Bramans at VTS of the Security Council. We have carefully studied their reports. Thank you very much. The mechanism was created in 2010 to be a small, temporary, and efficient structure. I would emphasize the word temporary in this definition. It started its operations in 2012, thus has been active for 8 years and undergone 2 reviews of its work, the third one being underway. In this regard, we expected that the year of 2020 would become, as was indicated by the principles of the mechanism, a milestone for this structure. All cases would be completed according to the reported timelines, and the Council would finally be able to deal with the legal closure of the mechanism. Unfortunately, this stage has yet to be achieved. One of the reasons being COVID-19 and its consequences. The mechanism's current 2-year mandate ends on 30 June. By the end of June, the terms of office of the judges from the roster, the president and the prosecutor of the mechanism will expire as well. This month, the Security Council is engaged in reviewing the mechanism's activities and will reflect the results of this review in the resolution, the adoption of which is sine qua non for extending the mandate of the mechanism for another 2 years. We have carefully studied the conclusions and recommendations of OIOS for the mechanisms. They confirm what our delegation has referred to on numerous occasions. The criminal tribunals created by the Security Council did not have a judicial planning system as such, and all the forecasts were made at random. Thus, the conclusion of the inspectors that, I quote, the mechanism was not systematic in presenting focused projections in reports, insofar as they decline to methodically predict the future progress of trial or estimate a completion date of the start of the proceedings. Is of the particular relevance, I think, such conclusions. We fully support the recommendation of OIOS prescribing the mechanism to provide and adhere to clear and focused projections of completion timelines at the earliest stage possible in its reports. It must be duly reflected in a resolution of the Security Council on the review of the mechanism. We understand that circumstances are extremely unusual now. Nevertheless, we urge the management of the mechanism to rectify the situation and reduce the projected deadlines for completing the trials. We look forward to the results during this year. Another point of particular importance for our delegation is the protection of rights of persons detained on the authority of the mechanism, especially with respect to the access to timely and qualified medical assistance. We are all aware of the sad record of the ICTY in that regard. Today, at the time of the COVID-19, this issue becomes even more relevant. In particular, the poor state of health of Ratko Mladic is very well known. Thus, we call on the mechanism to pay special attention to the state of health of the detained, provide them with appropriate medical assistance, and consider favorably the offers of respective assistance from member states. In conclusion, I would like to acknowledge the work of the prosecutor of the mechanism, in ascertaining the fate of the two persons accused by the ICTR and apprehension of one of them, Mr. Kabuga, in France. In that respect, we would encourage the mechanism and also the Council to look into options for delivering justice without burdening the mechanism and indefinitely prolonging its functions. Thank you, Madam President.
Je remercie le représentant de la Fédération de Russie pour sa déclaration.